Wow, it seems like a really nice place. You get so much sun?
ええ、今日は天気もいいし、それでマリア館にお誘いしたというわけよ。
Yes, the weather is so nice. I thought we would spend the day in Maria Hall. There were a few tables around, giving the courtyard a very relaxing aura. Mise-san moved to the kitchenette while I waited at the table. Just then I caught a glimpse of someone through the window. They were passing through the hall facing me, so I waved. And they didn't wave back.
ごきげんよう。マサヤ様お一人ですか?
He actually did greet me. Wow. Salutations. Are you by yourself, Miss Ayasama? No, I'm here with Mise-san. She's in the kitchenette right now.
そうですか。ならちょうどよかった。
I see. That is ideal. What? She didn't actually answer me, but turned her face away and closed her eyes. I took a surreptitious glance at her profile. Mitsuko-chan is really beautiful too. Perhaps because she did not wear her emotions openly, she had a beauty like a porcelain doll. Vincennes really is a school filled with beauties. And you're the beast. When I thought about it, that was maybe the thing that made me most glad to be here.
あら、リツコ。あなたもお茶をいかが?
Oh, Mitsuko. Would you like some tea as well?
いえ。リセ様、白百合会会頭就任おめでとうございます。
And she is holding a Bible. No, thank you. Rise-sama, congratulations on winning the leadership of the White Lily Society.
何よ、改まって。
Why such formality?
実は。
Huh. The truth is... She hesitated for a moment, turning her eyes to the entrance. There was another student coming towards us.
リツコ、もう挨拶は済んで。
Mitsuko, have you made the traditional greeting?
今からです。
I am about to.
美月さん。
Mitsuki-san. Mitsuki stood off to the side as if to make it clear she would not be joining us for tea.
挨拶ってなんだか本当に改まっているけど。
Traditional greeting? It did seem a bit overly formal, but
ベニバラ会の会頭に私が就任することになったのです。
I have been entrusted with the leadership of the Red Rose Society. What? Huh? Mise-san had said that the association decided on their leaders during the third term, and that the new head of the Red Rose would be Mitsuki-san.
どういうことかしら。
How did this happen?
1年生だからと会頭になれない規則はないわ。
There's no rule stating that a first year can't be a society president.
そういうことを言っているのではなくてよ。だって美月さん、あなたでしょ、会頭は。
That isn't what I'm saying, of course. Mitsuki-san, I thought you were going to be a society leader.
予定が変わったの。
Our plans changed.
どういうこと？
What? What's going on?
わからないの？ソレイユデコール。
You really don't know, Soleil de Ecole?
本来であれば、マサヤさん、あなたなど誰からも相手にされず、居場所のない気持ちを味わうところだったのよ。
Masaya-san, under normal circumstances, no one would associate with you here, and you would not be welcomed anywhere you go. Huh? I was a little shocked at being attacked that way so suddenly.
それが曲がりなりにも穏便に住んでいるのは、マサヤさん、あなたを連れてきたのがリセさんだから。
The only reason you're allowed to stay at Vincennes is because of Rise-san who brought you here.
それだけ彼女は一目置かれているということよ。
That is how much people respect her. Well, that's right. The person who brought me here was a VIP, so I was riding her coattails in a way.
そんな評価の仕方は馬鹿げているわ。誰がどう言ったかなんて関係ない。本人が彼と接してどう思うか、それが。
That's a foolish way to judge people. It doesn't matter what anyone says. Everyone should interact with him and decide for themselves.
みんながあなたのように振る舞えるわけではないのよ。
Not everyone can conduct themselves the way you do, you know. Her incredible confrontational air caused even Ritsuko to gasp.
影響力は決して無視できないわ。その最たる存在がラトゥートスールでしょ。
I cannot ignore your influence. The only person above you in that regard would be Latote Sor.
美月さんは変わったわ。昔はそんなこと言ったりしなかった。
You have changed, Mitsuki-san. You would never have said something like that before.
私のことはどうだっていいでしょ。
That is neither here nor there. As if ashamed of the anger she had shown, she turned her eyes away.
それで、何の話だったかしら。ああ、そう、律子の就任の話ね。
Well, then, what were we discussing? That's right, Mitsuki's inauguration.
今回、アソシアションはいつになく重い責任を負っているわ。昨日理事長がおっしゃっていたように。
The association this year bear an unprecedented responsibility, as the chairwoman said the other day.
グランデボートを単なる人気投票ではない、学園の未来を決するのにふさわしいものにしなければならない。
The grand vote cannot merely be a popularity contest. The student body must make the proper decision for the future of the school.
であれば、こちらも相応のリーダーを立てるべきと考えたの。
In that case, we decided it would be best to propose a more suitable leader.
ベルエピーヌはソレイユデコールにも負けない一名だわ。そうではなくて、
Bellepini is certainly entitled to compete even with Soleil de Ecole, don't you think? None of us could answer her. Even Mitsuko-san herself cast her eyes downward as if merely enduring it.
それで私は身を引いたというわけ。
That is why I withdrew myself from the running.
そんなの。
That's...
何よ。もしも同情しようというのならお断りよ。自分の意思でしたことなのだから。
What of it? I won't have your pity. If that's what you're offering, I choose this of my own free will.
言っておくけどね、リセさん。それにあなたも。
But there's one thing I wish to say. To Rise-san, and to you. She pointed her finger sharply at my face.
私は男子が入るのなんか大反対なの。全く冗談じゃないわ。バンセンヌは女子校なのよ。何を考えているのよ。
I am firmly against accepting boys here. This is not a joke. Vincennes is a girls' school. It's a ridiculous suggestion. Well, Mitsuki-san's words were entirely natural.
じゃあ、私からはそれだけ。失礼。
Well, that's all I had to say. Excuse me.
私は正直どうかと思ったのですが。
If I may be perfectly honest.
何が？
What is it?
美月様が言ったように、回答に学年による規定はありません。ですが。
Mitsuki-sama is correct that there is no restriction on society leaders by grade level. However,
慣習や不分率というものはあります。きっと前例はないはずです。なのに私が就任してしまって。
there are customs and unwritten rules. I believe it is without precedent, and yet they elected me.
律子も相変わらずお堅いわ。
You have always been a stickler for the rules. For the rules that way, Mitsuko.
また学年を抜きにしても私などがという気持ちは確かにありました。
Even setting my age aside, I feel terribly unworthy of my position. What? But Mitsuko-chan, You're so beautiful.
何を言っているんですか？
What did you just say?
うーん
Uh-oh. They were both glaring at me. I mean, that's a big part of leadership, right?
そういうことです。ただその点に関してはできる限りサポートするとお姉様方は請け負ってくださいました。
It is. But with regard to that point, my big sisters have all agreed to give me their full support.
いずれにしろ回答の選出は役員のご選によるものとこちらははっきり明記されています。
At least, it has been made clear to me that the society members were in agreement about the decision.
であれば私に否やはありません。
That is why I did not object. From the way she spoke, Mitsuko-san seemed like a person who liked to follow the rules. She was definitely a stickler that way.
昨日言っていたけれど律子は変革には反対なのよね。
You mentioned the other day that you were against freeform, Mitsuko.
はい。
I am.
じゃあ今日からはれっきとしたライバルだわ。お手柔らかに頼むわよ。
Then, today we have become official rivals. I hope that we can keep this amiable.
こちらこそ。
As do I. As they shook hands, I felt like I had seen Mitsuko-chan smile for the first time. I felt certain that it was due to Risa-san's welcoming attitude.
おいしい。ちょっと冷めてしまったけれど、やっぱり紅茶はフォートナン&メイソンに限るわね。
Delicious. It's a bit cold, but truly, Fortnum and Mason is the only black tea worth drinking. Fortnum?
あら、ご存知ない？
I'm poor, remember? Ah, you don't know of them? No, the only black tea I've ever had is the Nitta kind that comes in bags.
ティーバッグ？カバンがどうだというの？
In bags? Do you mean satchels? What? What? The gap between us was as vast as a canyon. They was gonna say as fast as a crayon. Oh, nothing. Huh?
どうかした？
What is it? Nothing. This is just really, really good. Tea in the cup was dark indigo. I'd never seen anything like it before. But even on a first glance, it was clearly nothing like the black tea I'd had before, in taste and in smell.
あなたって何でも美味しそうに食べるから見ていて気持ちがいいわ。
It's wonderful to see you eating so happily. Well, I'm drinking, but okay. It's not like I can indulge like this before, after all. Certainly not when my meals consisted of a single pan with milk. I brought the cup to my lips again. So good. I couldn't even remember what we were talking about before.
それで今日はちょっと作戦会議と行きたいと思ったの。
Well then, today I would like to have a small strategy meeting. Strategy meeting?
あ、その前に確かアソシアシオについてまだきちんと説明していなかったわね。
Ah, before that though, I don't believe I've given you a proper explanation of the association. Have I? Alright.
じゃあ先にそちらから話の順番として生徒会からまず触れますけれど、こちらは多分よそ様とそう変わりはないと思うわ。
Then, I'll do that first. I should explain that the student council to start with, but I believe that that should be similar to other schools.
学校運営の学生側による執行機関、普通そうでしょ？
They typically serve as an executive body for school policy on the student level. Is that correct? Yeah. An executive body. In other words, they made sure that things got done. I never served on the student council or committee in school, so I didn't know about their inner workings, but I knew they were involved in the sports and cultural festivals.
同時に議決機関を兼ねている場合も多いと思うけど、万専部ではそうではないもん。
I believe that some serve legislative functions as well, but that is not the case I've been seeing.
昨日も言ったように何かと投票を行うのだけど、その結果がすなわち議決と言えるわ。
I referred to what happened yesterday as a vote, but in a way, it is the legislative process.
つまりバンセンヌにおいては議決機関と執行機関が明確に分離されている。そこでアソシアシオンの役割だけど。
That is to say, at Vincennes, the executive and legislative bodies are clearly separated. That is where the association comes in.
最も重要なのは投票を管理監督するというものなの。
Their most important duty is to oversee the holding of votes. Oh, in other words, you have a lot of votes to decide legislation?
そう。ただ日常的な投票はそれでいいとして、グランデボートはちょっと困ったことになってしまうわね。
Correct. It serves well enough for votes on daily matters, but the grand vote is something rather different.
というのは、立候補者はアソシアションの回答なのだから、それでは不正の余地が大ありだわ。
That is because the candidates are the heads of both associations. There would be a great deal of room for foul play. Got it.
そこで白百合会と紅バラ会が相互に監視するという構図になっているの。
Because of that, the White Lily and Red Rose societies direct the vote in tandem. It all seemed like a lot of trouble to go through, but it suited the kind of school that Vincennes was after all.
戦艦みたいなことがメインのお仕事だけど、実際は生徒会のお手伝いもしますけどね。
The administration of elections is their main duty, but in reality, they assist the student council as well.
だいたいそんなところですけど、何か質問とかは？
Do you have any questions regarding these points? I'm good.
じゃあ作戦会議といきましょう。議題は他でもないわ。欠けてしまった役員をどうするか。
Then, let us discuss strategy. The first item on our agenda is our lack of committee members. Yeah.
もちろん弱気になっているわけではなくてよ。ただ現実問題として人手が乏しいのは痛手ではあるから。
Naturally, I have not lost heart, but we must accept that a lack of staff will hurt us greatly in the fight to come.
マサヤさんは白百合会の部屋にノートパソコンがあったことには気がついて。
Masaya-san, did you notice laptops in the White Lily Society's room? Yeah.
アソシアションはホームページも持っているの。インターネットではなく学内ネット上ですけれど。
The associations have homepages as well. They aren't on the internet, but you can access them from the school network.
それの更新作業とか、まあいろいろあるから人手は大いに越したことはないというわけ。
They require a great deal of maintenance, which requires a large staff as well. I see.
ましてや今年は世論を喚起していかないといけないわけだし。
What's more, this year, as we must rally public interest as much as we can, you can't have someone substitute.
役員になるには選挙を得ないといけないから。
One must be voted in to be a member. Oh, I see.
そしてきっと選挙のやり直しは認められないでしょうね。
And I'm certain that a re-election would not be allowed. We sat in silence for a few minutes. We'll just need to find out how to get them to come back.
そうね。
You're right. She took a sip from her cup and returned it to her saucer, then paused.
正直自信はないけど、やってみる前から諦めるわけにはいかないわね。一人一人当たってみるわ。
I have little confidence, but we can't give up without trying. We'll just speak to each of them individually.
じゃあそれはそれとして、マサヤさんはなるべく交流の輪を広げるようにしてもらえるかしら。
Putting that aside, we'll need to expand our social circle, Masaya-san. Yeah.
プルミエールジャッジメントを通過するには、何よりまずあなた自身を知ってもらう必要があるわけだから。
In order to pass the premier judgment, more than anything, they will need to know you as a person after all.
大丈夫。マサヤさんならきっとみんなに受け入れられるわよ。
Don't worry. I'm certain that everyone will accept you, Masaya-san. Yeah, I'll do my best to make sure that happens.